This is Show versus Business, where pop culture meets pop money with me, the real Theo Harvey.
And me, Mr. Benja.
Mr. Benja, let's get right into it. Another live session. We're about to do this thing. Where's my air horn? I love it. Man, Mr. Benja, man, we are back live in effect. We didn't get a chance to do this last weekend because of the 4th of July holiday here in the United States. Mr. Benja, how was your 4th?
I don't know what that holiday is anymore. I got Juneteenth now, so I'm dancing about a month earlier. And July 4th was cool, man. I was just chilling.
Okay. No parties, no barbecues, no cookouts.
Man, me and this manuscript, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, snap. Look at you getting out working, son. Work. I tried. Well, I was doing work. I literally got a contract, from other business done. So that was good. July 3rd. So I was hype. Yes. Got this contract in before the 4th. But yeah, man, last week, if you guys saw some of the previous shows, last week I got a great interview with Rico Ross, actor extraordinaire in Tyler Perry. What's it called? Beauty in Black. That's the name of the show. As you can tell, I may not watch it as much, but he gave us some insight, business insight as an actor, and especially working with Tyler Perry, who is very influential and out there doing a lot of the content. So go check out that content if you haven't seen it. But yeah, it was great to kind of talk to him a little bit about what does it look like from the business side. He went into information around AI and how it's affecting script, right? Not just script writing, but how they do coverage, right? So basically he gets all these scripts. The AI can kind of tell you if this is a good script or not. or what's the audience going to be. And then he talked about like the importance of having social media as an actor, because now they can predict how many people show up for your show. He even offline, he even told me the secret to getting a Tubi movie set up, because he's got some Tubi movies out there.
Wait. So we might see a sequel to Blacks in UFOs?
You know what hey, Mr. Benji, it's just us, right? We're just live. I'll tell you the secret. You know what he told me the secret was? And I think you hinted at it, because when I guarantee when you saw this, that's exactly why you watched it. He said the secret to Tubi movies it's all about the poster. So if you see something that when you saw those afros and those aliens,
yes,
that's what got you. So it did its job. So who cares what the content is? It's all about the poster. But anyway, yeah, great conversation. So shout out to Rico Ross. Go follow him and the next season of Beauty in Black. But Mr. Benja, man, what do you want to talk about this week, man? The big news. Did you want to get right into it, or did you have some other things?
I'm always right into it, man. That's my new thing, man. Getting straight into it. Just like even when I talk to people in public, it's like, hey, how you doing? I got an itch on my foot last week. Let me tell you. And they're like, what the hell? And all of a sudden they're into my story.
There you go, man. We got to get right into it. According to the algorithm, you need to sell a promise with the thumbnail and get right to it. So superheroes are back because it's the weekend that Superman is in theaters, Mr. Benja. I am going to see it probably for the second time. I hate getting spoiled, so I had to go see it opening night, 2 p.m. Wednesday, was it Thursday night, 2 p.m. or Thursday afternoon? But now I'm going to go see it with the family later today. But Mr. Benjamin, the hype machine is here.
Okay.
Superman.
So with Superman, you said superheroes are back. Did you say that with superheroes are back ? Or superheroes are back definitively? Or how do you mean that?
I don't know. Be honest with you, because it's a question mark.
Okay.
Let me just say this: no spoilers, but it's James Gunn. It's a James Gunn movie. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
If you like that, it's going to be super. It's going to be comic book accurate.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go check it out. I missed my opportunity this weekend, but I'll definitely get by and see it. And the only thing I've heard from it, because I've been trying to stay away from spoilers, is it's a James Gunn movie. And I was telling my friend, it's like,
wait a minute. So I told you that. So you're saying you heard that from other people?
Yeah, somebody else I was talking to, not you. But I was talking to a friend, and we don't like spoiling each other. And he just busts out, "Hey man, I saw Superman." So I'm like, okay, the fact that he's breaking it out like this and doesn't like talking spoilers ahead of people seeing it, I kind of got an inkling of what he was going with, and I was like, okay. And he goes, "Yeah, yeah." He kind of caught himself because he didn't want to like give too much to me. He was like, "It's a James Gunn movie," and I was
Yeah.
like, "I know that." He's like, "Yeah, I know you know that."
Exactly. That's all I can say about it. I said the
Yeah.
same exact thing. It's a James Gunn movie. Yes, Superman, the most iconic superhero of them all, right? It's been in our lives for basically all our lives, before our lives. But it's James Gunn.
So so this would be telling if superheroes are back or are they not. I suppose Superman would be the biggest person, figure, character to answer that question. So, um, in your opinion, just is it are we back? Are we leading into a new something? The last call? I'm curiously optimistic about the next wave of superhero stuff coming out.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Mr. Bench. I'm not gonna lie because um it's gonna be telling what happens when the rest of my family sees this movie. So
Mhm.
I could probably answer that after that when they, because obviously
Oh, you did the solo run.
I did, yeah, the first
Oh,
time was solo run. So I'm of the cloth, right? They
mhm,
would say, right? I'm a believer, right? I already, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Check, 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 check. But you get the the non-believers out there, I mean, look, Marvel Endgame was very out there, right? I mean, time travel, all that.
mhm,
But they did the work, right? To kind of get to that point where you now had, quote unquote normies out there screaming, yeah, at the end game scene when they got the
mhm,
hammer. So, and then also the fact that James Gunn is basically, he's one of those directors that this is a James Gunn movie, right? Or this is a Ryan Coogler movie, or this is a Christopher Nolan movie, right? It's a brand in itself. And the fact that he now runs, one half of all kind of comicdom, right? For DC Studios, it's like, if, if this is direction, man, it's going to be telling to see what. I think it's going to do a lot of money. I mean, I'm looking at theaters. I don't know what you saw at theaters, but they're packed. I mean, the marketing did his thing. I
okay.
mean, it was a lot of marketing, and we can talk about that from the business side. But I do feel like we say they're back. I think there's always going to be a place for superhero movies. Will it ever get the heights of like Marvel Endgame? Right? I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I don't think we can get that back. Right off the bat, my knee jerk reaction says we're not getting that kind of thing back because that requires a whole machine and set of people dedicated to making that kind of thing happen. And I just don't see that coming out of the gate of like, all these little underground stories of, man, these guys are really working hard and they pulled this and this actor dropped out of his one thing and he decided to jump on that movie. Oh, he jumped on it too? Really? Wow. Okay, this is becoming a thing. Like we had the Favreau and Feige stories back in the day, along
Mhm.
with Stan Lee doing his last push, like, guys, come on, let's make this thing happen. There was so much coming together. And even on the DC side, it was like, hey, we haven't had a big hurrah, since way back in the day with, Michael Keaton and everything. What are we doing now? And it's like, "Hey, well, let's try to get some new blood into it, Zack Snyder, and, all these other things start coming into it. So what happens now?"
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think two things are going for superhero movies, right? I think they're very cinematic. I mean, and what does that mean? That means they look better on a bigger screen, right? Because there's a lot more stuff happening, right? It's hard to, watch it on your screen. Ooh, who's that? Who's he punching? So it's just something about the whole going to a movie and getting that. That's number one. And I guarantee, I mean, when did Endgame come out? What, 2018? No, 2019?
Not sure.
Yeah. So I think it was right before the pandemic. So 10, 15 years from now, you absolutely nostalgia is gonna kick in. All those folks that
2019.
were, huh?
2019.
2019? Yeah. All those kids, so I would think about 2030, 32-ish. We're gonna start seeing an influx of people missing. Oh man, dang, I want to see some good. that nostalgia kicks in, right? Because just
Don't you
like us, right?
remember? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man, that was some fun times at the. Let's go, man. I want a good, and so I think they're gonna just linger around, and we may see another uptick in another, like to the levels of maybe close to Endgame, maybe by 2032 or something, 2035.
Was there a cultural zeitgeist kind of movement that caused a superhero thing to pop off in the first place? I'm
Hmm.
trying to think back, and I just remember us going to Comic Con, and as far as I can
Oh
tell, as
yeah,
as
that
far
was
as I can tell,
Ground Zero.
for me and you and people who are in the mix and who have actually been inside a comic book store and knows what it smells like, every comic book store kind of
Nacho
smells the same.
cheese, Diet Coke, nacho cheese, and
and,
despair.
and old paper. Yes. Despair. All comic book shops, all game stops smell the same. There's certain shops that just all smell the same. It's I don't know.
But
Anyway,
yeah, what were you about to say? The height? Yes.
well, no, was there a cultural something going on that I wasn't aware of? Because as far as I could tell, it was I, me and my comic book loving self as a kid just always wanted to see this stuff. So the fact that there was a big budget, I was there anyway. But I don't know what the rest of the world was thinking about when they saw the superhero stuff happen, or maybe they just
Mhm.
followed along in our lead.
Yeah, I think that was of a piece. It just became so prolific and so consistent, and then it just kept elevating up and up. And then, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Kevin Feige would definitely go down the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, what he created. I mean, that's a genius. Not only was it IP, but it's interconnected IP. No one's done that before. They've done genre before, they've done sequels before, but the fact to use these end tags to continue the story. So it's like, I gotta go see the next one. I think I do.
Did you watch through Agents of Shield, or you watched some of it at least, right?
Yeah, I did watch some of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever watch it and all of a sudden they made a call out to the movies, like, oh, this is, the Chitauri something, and you're like, hey, those are the guys from the movie, and it instantly got you more interested in the show. You were like, wow. And somebody who didn't know was just like, all right, Chitari, Chia Pet, chicken
Well,
chicken satay, whatever you said.
I mean, what Kevin Feige did in essence was make movies and TV to an extent like the comic books, right? These
Right.
little Easter eggs, little tags to kind of continue the story. So basically, always in Act Two, right? And so then
Yeah.
you're never leaving the story, and so that keeps you coming back for more. But then what the corollary to that, if you make everything Act Two, the problem with that is everything becomes homework. So it's not like, ooh, that's
Right.
episode
Right.
two. I missed that one. So how did Spider-Man get to New York? And you like that meme of the guy on the
Yeah.
looking at the screen trying to figure
Yeah.
stuff out.
You know what, dude? I remember getting mad at a comic book series because they were like continued in ROM number 138, and I was like, ROM? I don't want to read no ROM with the stupid red eyes. Man, get him out of here. And I ended up kind of liking ROM, but yeah, I just remember being mad at the fact that I had to go to a comic book I didn't like.
Facts. So I don't know. Did you see Ironheart yet, or have you heard the big thing that happened in Ironheart yet lately?
Well, I'm not sure I heard what you're referring to. So you know, let's go.
Okay. The big news with Ironheart, and it probably overshadowed the whole show, was that Mephisto finally showed up. And this is
I did hear that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's kind of
we're gonna
like
have to spoil past that, but yeah, I did hear that.
yeah, so basically it's yeah, Ironheart basically walks so Mephisto could live, I guess. I don't know. So it's because who cares about Ironheart? And it does seem like it would seem like it was just kind of set up to just be like, yeah, who cares about Ironheart? We finally did this thing that we've been teasing since. I mean, they were talking about this character since what? WandaVision?
They put Easter eggs about Mephisto in one Mephisto, what is his name? The Grim Reaper and a couple other characters that they kind of sprinkled information inside of WandaVision, and that got everybody lit up. And we know better now, but it seems
They
like
they they
somebody's
sh- they pinholed it in a story about a technology genius who's basically Iron Man Junior. Uh, black woman in Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's this mystical creature. I'm like, what in the world are we doing? So I say that to say is like, yes, this whole continuation of stories, it just seems like a mess now. And there's so many tags and things that Marvel will never catch up. So when you say superheroes, going back to the original premise of all this, are superhero movies back, right? And I don't know, I think that,
Man.
there is still some hesitation to dive back into the homework of it all, right? And I
Yeah.
think some people who don't like that, because I mean, like I said, there's going to be some litmus test later today. I'm really going to find out what the people who are not of the cloth think of
Not of the cloth. I love that.
who, who think of Superman, because it goes there, and I just want to make sure, I said, okay, what do y'all think? But you know what, the original, I thought about, man, the original Superman was weird as hell too. You remember the
It was
Christopher Reeve's
weird.
version?
Yeah.
Remember that whole scene where he turns back time by spinning the earth around?
I
What
knew
the
you were
hell?
gonna say
What
that.
kind of physics was that? What kind of physics was that?
Yeah.
Who came up with that, man? Was Einstein proving this? I don't think that's how time travel works, man.
You know what's funny?
Golly, and we
I
knew better.
Yeah, no, it was the funny thing is that movie was so weird to us even at the time that we kind of just like, yo, that MF went back in time by spinning around the planet.
Man, see,
but,
he's
but
just flying around the
but we
place.
were cool with it. We were like, whatever, and kept going.
I
Uh,
mean, that part to this day, always. Matter of fact, I believe this so much. In second grade, I remember the smartest girl I ever knew. Her name was Pam Prosatago Soph, Thai girl. Went to Harvard at what 16? I mean, excuse me, MIT at 16. Took calculus as a freshman. We were second grade at the time. I told her my theory on time travel based on Superman. To her credit, she didn't laugh me under the table, but she was just like, there, guy. There. You idiot. Everything called quantum physics, wormhole theory. But
oh
anyway,
my goodness.
I digress, man. So yeah,
So
Superman,
what?
man, it's another thing.
So what'd be interesting is if it happened like it did in the comics, where all of a sudden the entirety of Marvel fell off, and all of a sudden DC starts getting all the shine.
Good point. And I think that could happen. Obviously, I mean, people are, so what as someone who hasn't seen it yet, I mean, what do you think of the marketing piece of this, right? What do you think of the whole or the discourse now it's been released? What I mean, obviously you're trying to avoid spoilers and all that, but like talk about the lead up to this and now the
Mhm.
discourse that you're kind of faintly hearing. Is it positive, or what do you think?
Well, yeah, I think much of the idea was that, guys, listen, we're making Superman. We're not going to go bombastic and stupid and say it's the best movie ever and got to go see it now. But hey, we're making a Superman movie. It's going to be a really good movie. You should check it out with an open mind. It was just kind of put out there like continually.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think it was done in a soft enough way where they're just like, hey, listen, Superman's coming. It's going to be cool. Trust us. This new way of like not so. I mean, the last bombastic kind of presentation of you're going to like this was Captain Marvel to me. And
Oh,
I just remember those posters and advertisements like Captain Marvel, you're gonna love it. And it was just like it just had this fakeness about it. Like, what do you mean I'm gonna love it? I don't know. Hey, you did it. Are you putting it out there like that? Calm down. You know?
yeah. I mean, so yeah, the marketing of this thing, right? Let's talk about that in the business side of it. I mean, look, James Gunn is a marketing machine of his own, so it's kind of like he's almost resistant a little bit to criticism. He's kind of like,
Mm,
if Kevin Feige was a director as well, right? So he can kind of maneuver through. He speaks he speaks the language, right? He knows how to get on Twitter and have conversations and have viral tweets about how he getting canceled from Marvel almost broke him, stuff like that, and that draws people to him. He has his fan base, right? From his trauma days. Was it trauma? That's the name of his company, trauma days. And then he's got his cast of actors, his brother being one of them, Nathan Fillion, these that just show up all the time supporting him. We love you, brother. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like he, unlike Snyder, which does have his fans, but not really. He's kind of like he's almost like a Nolan a little bit, right? And certain like Ryan Coogler at this point. So it does seem like he does have a little bit more reign of what he can or can't do, and so that marketing engine allowed him to sideswipe a lot of maybe early criticism of the movie, right? And then there was some early controversy or about like, is this a MAGA, anti-MAGA movie? Blah blah blah. And
I
so
w-
it seemed like he was able to sideswipe that a little bit too, because he can go on both sides. I've seen both sides story, both
yes.
sides. What they're good people on both sides, that kind of thing with them.
Yeah, he was a little slick with it. So that was the other whiff I got from the whole Superman thing, was that there was a bit of a political kind of, somebody might want to,
Yeah.
stand up and say something political if you were in line to watch Superman. Um, but I just opened up X, right? Saw Superman there, of course, and I'm still checking X to see what the people are saying. And yeah, like the first one says, from this girl named Cassandra, y'all were not kidding about how anti-Israel and pro-Palestine that Superman movie was, and they were not slick with it at all. 9,600 retweets.
Yeah, I mean, you can find it in everything. In Superman, I mean, he's an immigrant,
Oh,
all this
oh,
other
oh, wait,
stuff.
is he? That what you're going to
Well,
call him?
well, I
We
mean,
know,
I mean,
we know what side you
Superman.
on.
I mean, this dude was created in 1940 something.
Yeah,
I mean, by Jewish immigrants. I mean, he looks, the idea. He's got darker hair, darker skin, not darker skin, but there's an allegory here. Let's be real, right, with Superman. And so yeah, they're gonna have conversations around it. You can kind of find in Superman what you find it. And they even talk about that in the movie. So it's kind of like they face a lot of stuff head on. But I can tell you, this is exactly so one of the most kind of you know I would just say of leaning more to the right when it comes to these comic book nerd movies and stuff like that. The Critical Drinker, he pretty much summed it up. It's just like a beautiful James Gunn mess. So what does that mean? So he just lays it all on James Gunn and just says, I didn't read his review yet or listen to it, but usually he's just, if it's something that he doesn't like at all, that's too woke in his mind, he would just dismiss it right away. But because James Gunn is a brand of itself, he can't really diss the Superman movie. He just says, well, it's James Gunn. So I think is anti, they can't, get a handle on it, right? And
which
so
is cool. Which is cool. I like that.
yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So the marketing of it, yes, because it could be a lot of pitfalls. This could have fell down a lot of pitfalls, right?
Yeah.
But
So, it, and I think that's where you actually get into the artist portion of it, where they're not saying anything; they're just expressing something, and it happens to line up with other things.
yeah.
And I really appreciate that when artists can do that.
So and he's an artist, whatever you think, and he has an opinion and a point of view. So yeah, man. So yeah, I definitely think that. So another thing I want to bring back, you had said something. What were the touch points, right? That kind of really inflamed this whole superhero genre, right? And I have them very clear in my mind. I remember, obviously, Star Wars is always there, and we were hyped about it. But then it was really X-Men, came
Hmm.
out. And that was like, oh wow, in 2002, I think it was. We went to go see it. They were in leather suits, and they were trying to keep it calm. We're not going to have them in their comic book accurate, attire. We want people to believe it. So that was a touch point. Spider Man, both Spider Man and then Spider Man 2, especially, were just, top notch, right? The Sam Raimi Spider Man. Those are the ones that were touch points. And then we had to wait all the way to 2008 Iron Man, I think, which is one that really kind of like, oh, this is a new thing, this whole Marvel thing. And so now those are the touch points. And then if you're talking about like the big touch point, I think that was on the almost up there when they introduced the Avenger team at Comic Con. And I never
Mm,
forget, I was waiting in line to go see that for like 7 hours, talking about Game of Thrones, all the nerds and all these other comic books, and didn't
yep.
get a chance to get in the Hall H to watch it. So I'm always salty I didn't get that picture. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yes, that's when they introduced the whole Avengers team up officially. So I think those four hallmarks were like those breadcrumbs, right? Because they were just getting out of the Twilight. I don't know if you remember the Twilight series. that was
Yes,
dying down, and
I
that
was
was
dragged into a few of those showings.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I was not. Thank God.
Come
I
on,
know
Benjamin.
of them, and I saw one or two of them, but I'm glad to go deep into it.
Come on, Benjamin. Let's go see Twilight. It was just like, okay. Um,
Yeah.
but you know what was interesting? I used to go to when I was in San Diego. I was going to movies with a group of people, and I was of there's like a quarter of us that were really into this stuff, and then like another 75%. I mean, another 50, 60% that were kind of into it, and then a couple of people who just were like didn't know whatever. They were just like, all right, whatever, we're going with all y'all. And what I do remember picking up on is that when Iron Man came out, now I didn't think about that until just recently. I was watching a Iron Man reaction. Um, a lot of people connected with Tony Stark and Iron Man because it did not play superhero. When you
Mhm.
when you watch it, at first it's like, oh, who's this guy? His Humvee. Oh, the Humvee got shot, and oh, he's got bullets in his chest. And wait, is that why they call him Iron Man? Because he got shot with iron? Or what is this? I don't understand what's going on. It's a political movie. Someone said superhero. Where's the spandex? And it threw him for a loop. It wasn't sci-fi. It wasn't outer space. It wasn't
Mm.
like an alien. It was very down to earth for a while in the movie until literally he tried to fly out of the compound and couldn't. So they kept it grounded, and it kept on going for a while without really getting super right until towards the very end when he's flying around like crazy and people are kind of going with it. So you've got the government, you've got business, you've got um, evil dudes, in other countries, and
In the desert, yeah.
yeah, in desert. And this is all stuff that we kind of relate to. So I don't know how conscious they were when they put out Iron Man to connect with the regular crowd, but if they really thought through that, like I'm hoping they did, that was genius. And I think it connected with a lot of people like that
Yeah,
that
and
way.
I remember going seeing it like twice or maybe even 3 times in the theater at the time back in '08 when it was released. It was just like, wow, this is something new. It was funny, it was interesting, like you said, it wasn't didn't play like a comic book movie until the 3rd act, of course, when,
Mhm.
was it the Ironmonger shows up, right? But,
I just solved the ice problem, son. Son.
but it was, it was I mean, the whole Marvel, the whole big thing with superheroes is just like how do you and I think Marvel has that in spades. And I think Kevin Feige understood that. The weakness aspect of is like it's hard to believe something has all this power, can do all this stuff. There's there's no tie to weakness to it, right? And so
Mhm.
uh like they said, the DC comic book characters are, and I take that back. DC had a run with Batman. They were doing good. Superman Returns was terrible. People don't even talk about that now. That's sad. That Superman Returns movie with Bryan Singer and Brandon Roth. It's just like the lesser if you remember. I don't even remember who the Lois Lane was in that. But anyway, I'll look it up later. So, but anyway, so it's not like DC wasn't out there with Batman. Batman had a great run, but it was like you're right. When Iron Man came out, there was like no guy in cape. There was no. I mean, the orange origin story was something we never seen before because we're so used to Superman, Batman, and Spider Man origin stories.
Yeah.
This guy was basically a billionaire who got caught up in some foolishness and blew up his heart. So he had to use his engineering skills to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, if you didn't know Iron Man, that was just like you're right. It was so different as an origin story. And I'm just thinking about it too, man. I was like, wow, they had other things too. They try to release, remember, Incredible Hulk, that failed. Then I think they had Captain America First Avenger. That was a nostalgia play, right? As a World War II movie. And that was like a little different. And then we didn't really see, Captain America till later, right? When he's all in full glow coming out of the right, with 40
Yeah.
minutes into the movie, when he's all, got the 6-pack abs, right, coming out of the
Yeah.
freezer. And then they went all straight Asgard, right? With the Rainbow Road and all that
Yeah.
with Thor. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're right. It's like they teased it, and they were 3 for 4, which is pretty good, hit rate for Marvel. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that opening rollout. I'm gonna have to research that opening rollout to see what happened. But now with, and we're gonna wrap soon. Now with all these kids, and they're talking about the crisis with young men, and being lost on the internet, and people having so many problems with scrolling and just causing mental issues or whatever. This is the kind of stuff that, I mean, hero movies are the kind of stuff that kids, young people, and people with energetic differences that, or whatever. This is the kind of stuff that is uplifting, and this is what comics were made for. While everybody else was doing whatever they were doing, it's like, well, shoot, I got comics. I'm gonna read these in the corner while everybody else does their thing. So you know what? I'm going from curiously optimistic to moderately optimistic. So I've upped my levels a bit. So by the next time we talk, you'll probably be highly optimistic, unless Superman sucks.
I like that, man. I mean, that's a great note to end on. I agree. I think superheroes give us something to aspire to, and Superman is an optimistic character. And I think, with no spoilers, James Gunn, if nothing else, he does keep that aspect of the character. I mean, now there may be some shenanigans around him, but
Hey, we know James Gunn, and anything. Let me tell you, if someone shenanigans once, watch them, because they're gonna shenan again.
they gonna say shenan. But yeah, man. Well, man, Mr. Benji, I think we're gonna end this one early. So maybe next week we'll do some spoilers on Spider-Man, excuse me, Superman, and let everyone know what our thoughts are. Some spoilers reviews. Also, if there's anything else you guys want to listen to, go, let us know, because we love comments, and we want to kind of make this live view a different version of the shows. We start to
Different
evolve
vibe, yeah.
more.
We get a little good little flow. So yeah, if
Yeah,
you got your comments and everything, throw them in there. We'll throw them back at you. Send us the flame, send us the heat. We love having the discussion.
the flames. So please like, subscribe, and comment at Show versus Business on X, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And visit us on our website at Show versus Business. All right, Mr. Benja, have a good one.
Peace.